All right. Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be live. I haven't been live in I feel like a year. And I was like, you know what? It's a little slower now, holiday time. Be a great time to catch up with the fans and the subs. I miss you guys. I think about you guys all the time. And I read all your comments, and they're great. I pride myself in saying I have the most uh, awesome subs and fans um, and smart and exciting comments and very with it. So it's always an extension, I feel like, of me being part of this. I couldn't do this without you guys. So I'd love to just be here today, talk with you guys. Any questions you have for me, anything you want to talk about, literally anything. I am here. I'll see your question in the chat. And I put a Q&A question too, just if you wanted to see um, if there's anything you want to see more from the channel that you'd like me to do. I know that I haven't been doing costumes as much. It's been trickier because I feel like I've been recovering shows that don't really have that costume feel to it. So I've kind of backed out a little on doing as many costumes, but I don't think that's the end of the costumes. I feel like once Handmaid's Tale finally comes back, I will put the bonnet on for sure. I can't not, right? But I really want to just talk about how this year was really exciting doing the channel and what you guys would want to see next year and any shows or movies you want to see me do or people to interview, anything like that, or do more live streams, memberships I could do again, which I don't do anymore, anything or what you like about the channel that I do or don't like. I'm here. I could take any criticism needed. But yeah, it's crazy to think that I've been doing this channel for like 7 years already. And I know there's people, it's cool when I see comments, I can look and see that some people have been here for a long time. And that doesn't go unnoticed. And I appreciate the people that just joined. And maybe they joined from a recent show I started covering, like From, or maybe they've been with me and wanted me to do From. So it's cool to see both sides of that coin when I'm doing videos. But it's been weird. I feel like it's a weird time for TV right now. I think that there's so much stuff out and there always has been, but I think with the times we're in too and how even for me, like all the streaming platforms, I am on the ad plan. So I'm getting used to in my life fitting in time for ads because that's what I can afford right now. So I feel like that's a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of people are more picky about what streaming apps to have then. It's not like the golden age of streaming anymore. So it's really hard to predict what shows are worth covering, and because I got to think about that just for my livelihood and what would help me get views and finding that balancing act of something that's interesting and people care about but not dominated, um, where everyone's covering it. And it's that's where it can get really tricky, and it's too competitive, so it's finding that middle ground. And there's some I'm like blown away by the reaction. Like, for example, I really From did really well for me, and people have been telling me that for a long time to cover it, and it worked out. And it really blew me away how well the interviews did for From, like insane amount of views. So that's really cool. And then there's ones I do, and I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? Like, for example, to open up to you guys, like I just covered the show Black Doves on Netflix with Keira Knightley. Pretty good show. It's been number one on Netflix for a couple days now. It's holiday themed too, so I'm like, oh, this should kill. And it barely has any views. So I'm like, are people watching this? Because even when you search it, my review comes up second. So I'm like, it's not like I'm not getting pushed. So I don't know. This is just that great mystery of covering things and just rolling dice. And there's so many things I think are going to do great and they don't do great, and things I think that are going to do bad and they do really good. So, like I said, though, I love to see any thing you want to say. Oh, here you go. I didn't even have the live chat open. So now I can see what you are saying. Oh, easier said with Meg is here. And I don't know what that Q&A thing is so confusing. Hi, Steve. I hope you remember me. I've been a big fan since Handmaid's Tale. Of course, I remember you. Easier said with Meg. Why wouldn't I? The funny thing is, the first thing I think of when I think of your channel is you wearing Handmaid's Tale costumes. That really brought me a lot of joy. So that'll be a nice touch to new shows. Yeah, I think that's when I peaked for sure. I like uh, you're mentioning Severance. I am so excited for Severance season two. I've been rewatching Severance season one, and it's even better somehow watching it. Like that is like prime TV. It's definitely my favorite show. Hey, Steph, thanks for all the support. I know Steph was really big into my oh my god, poker face reviews. Um, the Christmas spirit is real. You are here. Yes, I am here. I am the spirit of Christmas wearing this red shirt, but it's not even Christmas. It's KFC. It's the Colonel. Uh, but thank you, Steph. I really appreciate you. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to just find ways to get more engagement with you guys because I'm trying to, when I do interviews, because I know interviews are way less popular than reviews and recaps, whatever I do, whether it's also a review or recap, something that you guys care about. And it's tough because I feel like there's not enough stuff that comes out under that branch that would lead from Handmaid's Tale to like a Sharp Objects I've always mentioned. There should be more of that. I wish there was more of that. And there's just not, which is really weird. But I really am just trying to see like what turns you guys off too. Like, oh, there's no way you're going to watch that, you know? Um, oh yeah, it really did age like wine. Severance season one says easier said with Meg. Definitely, definitely. I'm excited to see where season two goes. Careful with that trailer though, because they show a lot in the season two trailer. A little too much for my taste. So I'd actually say don't watch the trailer, but it looks really good, and it's very soon. It's literally a month away, which we desperately need. We need that kind of thing to grip us back in. But you know, I had fun. Like Penguin was really good show. I suggest that, and I'm trying to think what else is coming down the pipeline. I've been watching Skeleton Crew, Star Wars one. You know, not really good as I thought it would have been, especially with John Watts behind it. It's okay. It's kind of just rolling through. So I think it's kind of disappointing in that sense. And it's really tough. I've watched all these shows I didn't cover. Like I watched Agatha all along, and I thought that was okay. You know, not amazing. And there's so many shows I watch in TV and movie, and there's reasons I cover some and reasons I don't. But I really just want to know more from you guys because I know you guys. I feel like I don't because then I feel like sometimes I'll post something I think you guys are gonna like, and no one views it. So I'm just curious what people are watching or what you give a chance. What is there a streaming service you don't even consider? Even if someone says, "Oh, this show is great," I'd love to know that too. Like, is there? Oh, if it's on Peacock, I'm not watching it. Or oh, Apple TV, no. You know, like I'm curious on that too because Apple TV is another one. There's a lot of good shows, but it is such a risk because of how many people actually use the service compared to like a Netflix. But I'm getting scared is because I feel like even some Netflix shows I've covered aren't really pulling in like they used to. And I don't know if that's because it's the holidays and people are busy. I don't know. You know, there's no book on this. So I really think you guys are the answer. And either way, I just try to do my best in everything I do and not like ever seem like I'm selling my soul. And I hope you guys are enjoying the movie reviews I do on shorts. I don't want you to miss those either. They're always there. When I see a movie in theaters, I try to review it, and I try to go to some screenings too if the movie like is something that interests me. And you know, make sure to check out my TikTok too. My TikTok, you get the best clips from my interviews, and you see all my movie reviews are shorter. So I try to also appeal to an audience that wants quicker content, not always long form. So I really highly suggest if you enjoy my YouTube, check out my TikTok. Um, Steph says, I need you to unwind grotesque ASAP. And from anything you want to cover, I will watch. Somewhere, somehow, I got unsubbed and wasn't until I went looking I found you again. Oh boy. Oh boy, Steph, how could you do that to me? No, that's a really good advice, and I like you're saying that if I'm covering it, I'll watch it. So that's good. That's encouraging that I feel like I can have that influence on some people. Uh, is Grotesque the Ryan Murphy show? I don't even know what that is, honestly. I think it's the Ryan Murphy show. Easier Said with Meg. I haven't really found a show that I love lately. I don't know Game of Thrones or Handmaid's Tale. Oh, I really have found a show that I love lately. Like, I don't know Game of Thrones or Handmaid's Tale. I've watched a lot of series, but nothing has really drawn me in. Yeah, I feel like that's a big thing right now. It's like getting people drawn in, and it's so much word of mouth that if people say a show is good to their family or friends, then they'll watch, but they kind of wait. Because there's so much stuff you can try and it's crowded. Yeah, From was so much fun as far as a community, says Meg. I agree, definitely. There's Earth Abides on MGM. It's pretty one of the run of the mill, but some like it. Oh, that's interesting stuff. So grotesque is a little confusing. Have I seen Blue Eye Samurai? No, but I hear great things. I also uh, watched Arcane. I'm caught up. I love Arcane. But I do think season one was better. If you're an Arcane fan, I think season two was just way too fast, and they should have done three seasons. It's so fast, too fast, and they got away from like the heart. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the relationship between the sisters kind of faded to the background, which I did not like. Easier So Meg says, "You were the sole reason I saw Wicked. I was going to skip it, but after seeing your Wicked short review, I went and saw it the day before Thanksgiving. Did you like it, Meg? Or did I fool you? Do you think I was lying? Because I loved Wicked, so I hope you liked it. I could understand, though, it's not for everybody. Speaking of movies, there's been a lot of good ones. I feel like movies been really cruising, where TV's kind of suffering a bit. And that will flip flop with me, but I feel like, I mean, if you've seen Gladiator, Gladiator 2 is not good. Wicked, I loved. And Nosferatu, I could talk about, was excellent. And that comes out Christmas Day. So if you're a horror fan, you're a Robert Eggers fan. If you're a Lily Rose Depp fan, I still think she gave the performance of the year. Check that out. What I'm excited to do is watch on Netflix the Angelina Jolie movie, Maria. I heard amazing things about her performance in it. So that's on Netflix now. I'm going to watch that. I still have to watch Amelia Perez, and that's going to be a big Oscar contender, especially with performances. I saw that Zoe Saldana had won one, so I'm curious about that film as well. And it's crazy how many musicals are like in the competition this year. It's really a musical year. Um, yeah, Easier So with Meg loves Blue Eyed Samurai. Very cool. I got to check it out. Oh, you like, okay, so Steph liked Jack Black's Dear Santa. I want to watch that because I love the Farley brothers, because Dumb and Dumber is my favorite movie of all time. Uh, My Old Ass, I haven't heard much about, but that's with Aubrey Plaza, so I'd love to see that. So you like that stuff? Okay. Meg got Wicked merch. Yes. And Steph liked My Old Ass, so I want to see that. Have any of you guys seen Anora? I still got to see Anora. That's another big Oscar contender. And it's interesting. Golden Globes are coming pretty early this year. They actually come January 5th, which is kind of wild. I think that um, that's usually like the first thing that kind of gives an idea of nominations, but they're also way off on things a lot too. Like I can tell you right now, not nominating John Chu or Denny Villeneuve for Dune 2 for director is insane. So I do not think the Oscars are going to do that. I think they will nominate both of them because I feel like those are my two favorites for director. So yeah, Golden Globes can be crazy sometimes with nominations. But what I did like Golden Globes did this year is include a lot of horror. They included Heretic, which was my second favorite film of the year. See that movie if you like Hitchcock type thriller and mystery. So good. And they also included The Substance, which I also liked a lot, except really the last 20 minutes. But I liked the movie a lot. And Demi Moore's amazing in it. And so is Margaret Qualley. And like you said, sleeping on Demi is not smart. She's amazing in it. So let's see how much momentum she gets going in to the Oscars. Do I have all streaming services? I actually don't have Apple TV, but Apple TV is really cool because I'm lucky enough that I can get screeners from different things, and Apple TV is the best with that and getting like you a show you want to watch or cover. But I have Netflix, I have Disney Plus, I also have Peacock. I think Peacock's really fun as an app, and it's a fair price. So yeah, I do like Peacock. I think it's kind of made a little comeback here. Um, let's see. I concur the last 20 blew it for me. Yes, the last 20 was just on and on with the no spoilers, but just the director was getting too excited about the physical aspect of it. I don't want to say anything, but yeah, just got over its head. Hey, Bright Aurora 777. Hello. Good to see you here. Um, but yeah, this is weird because I just haven't done a live in so long. And I was like, you know what, I gotta do a live because I want to talk to you guys and I get to comment back on my videos and stuff, but not really like this, where I can kind of live answer anything you guys want to say or thoughts you have. Um, yeah, see, easier said Meg's bringing up three body problems. She said she only finished it because she started. And yeah, that was one that started good for me and then peaked in the middle and then went all the way down. And yeah, it's weird shows like that happens. And even like with Silo season two, it's so like to me just disappointing in many ways. Um, and I'll have a review for the next episode tonight at midnight, so you can see it then. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with that show. And there's just like again, I feel like Black Doves is definitely worth your time if you're in the Christmas mood. You like Keira Knightley, and it's a good spy show. It's not amazing, but it's very good. But it's another one where the first half to me was way stronger than the second half. I'm trying to think what other movies I was going to see Craven the Hunter, but then the reviews were just abominable, like terrible. So I just can't will myself to the theater to see a movie like that. And oh, Steph wants to know my favorite holiday movie. My favorite holiday movie is A Night Before Christmas because I love that movie. But second, if we're going full Christmas, Christmas Vacation for sure. What about you, Steph? What's your favorite? Um, but yeah, I feel like I enjoy doing this. I want to do more live streams for this reason because I feel like I can just rattle off. It's already been 16 minutes, which is kind of wild. I feel like it's been 2 minutes. But thank you, Bright Aurora, Steph, and Easier Said with Meg being here, and anyone else who's watching and has put in the chat. But um, yeah, I'm definitely doing Severance season two. Of course, I did season one. I love that show, so that's going to be the big week to week show I'm going to be reviewing. I also want to do The Night Agent season two. I actually haven't even seen the first season, but so many people liked it, and I'm intrigued. And it comes out at a good time. And then I want to do Yellow Jacket season three, but if you've seen my review for the finale of season two, it was really, really bad. But I actually thought the trailer for season three of Yellow Jackets was like, okay, there's some hope here. Like it looked like the tone we like from season one. Um, I will cover Yellow Jackets because it did well, and it's something I can do and hope it gets good again. But man, did season two put a bad taste in my mouth. I think everybody. So that's just crazy. And then we got Squid Game coming out season two, which I'm not that excited about because I love Squid Game season one, but I was just like, how do you do a season two of that? It felt like such a wrapped story. It's kind of weird. The same guys going back in to play the game. So I don't know. It feels like they're stretching it a bit for that kind of story, but we'll see. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Oh, thank you, Easier So May. She says I'm easy on the eyes. I'll take it. Uh, Krampus and I am dying for Yellow Jack. Oh, her favorite's Krampus. I'm talking like Steph's talking like she's with Krampus. No, Steph says Krampus is her favorite holiday movie. I have to see it. Believe it or not, I have not seen it. So I'm going to add that to the list. And she says, I'm dying for Yellow Jackets to return. Please don't leave. No, no, no. I'm going to do Yellow Jackets for sure, especially because it comes out in a non competitive time. So it's definitely like Severance, Yellow Jackets. What's also wild is Dexter, Original Sin is just coming out, I think tomorrow, like out of nowhere. I feel like it's had no publicity. There's a lot of shows I'm like, there's like no publicity. So I feel like a lot of these studios are cutting back on marketing budgets, and it's interesting ones they choose to promote and ones they don't. But yeah, I mean, it's strange. And it's, I'm out in LA now. I used to be in New York. I love it out here. I think it's just if you're like me and you're into TV and film so much, there's just so much more opportunities, even though New York is a land of opportunity, but a lot of that is in film, Broadway, uh, cop shows. That's kind of where that you get the most. But here, I've just noticed so much more. It's fun, man, because if you're someone who's on the fence about ever living in New York or LA, what's cool about LA is literally you meet anybody out here and they're into TV and film. Like that's you just bring up any movie, they've seen it or show. It's really cool. And the theaters are always kind of packed, but in a good way. So you feel the love for it all here. But yeah, I also have I'm excited. I have an interview with Betty Gilpin, who I love, coming out. I already recorded it for a Netflix show, so that's going to come out after the New Year's. And yeah, I'm trying to just fill your guys' time with Silo, maybe sneak in another Netflix show review, something, and just try to do as many reviews as I can because I know that's like the bread and butter, right? And um, oh yeah, see, easier so to make is someone who loves Dexter, but she didn't even know the new season's coming out tomorrow. So that's when you know that's a problem with marketing, right? Like, but maybe they're not confident in the show too. Like maybe it just isn't good. That's like a scary sign, especially for a network that needs hits and showtime. So yeah, I don't know about that. I was kind of mixed feelings about the trailer too, but it is cool that the original Dexter is doing the voice of the young Dexter in his head. So that's at least you get the Michael C. Hall a little bit. But yeah, and I'm just enjoying the Christmas season, the holiday season, and I am, yeah, taking it a day at a time. My nerdy side, I love, comic books. I have an X-Men channel, so I have been reading all X-Men comics and I'm obsessed. And I am playing Marvel Rivals now, this game, if you're a gamer. It's so much fun. You get to play as different Marvel superheroes online and fight people. It's amazing. And yeah, I've been embracing that too. So I try to sprinkle in some X Men stuff and X Men content over there because that's like my niche channel. And I always want to do a niche channel because then at least you know what you're posting, those people like. So, of course, if you're an X Men fan, definitely subscribe to that channel as well. But it will never like take away from this channel. I always make this priority number one. And I'm also enjoying watching Actors on Actors. I don't know if you guys watch that series. I have just watched the Ryan Reynolds and Andrew Garfield one. Really good. I highly recommend, and I'm gonna watch the rest. But I always try to watch the movie the person's promoting first. So I'm like really excited about the Angelina Jolie, Cynthia Erivo one, but I haven't seen Maria yet. So I'm like, okay, let me watch that first. Because sometimes they even spoil it in those interviews. So you got to kind of be careful. But I take spoilers like even the littlest thing I take as a spoiler. That's why I'll never put spoilers in the thumbnail, which I just can't believe so many channels do, is putting spoilers in thumbnails. Like I'm those people, if someone does that once, I unsubscribe. Like I'm done. Never again. Like it's so uncool. And I always am wondering how they still have subs, so many, if they're doing this every time, like just spoiling shows, or they show the circle thumbnail with the biggest reveal in the episode. It's like, come on. Come on. Yeah, Yellow Jacket season 2 was not great. Bright Aurora 777. Yeah, here we go. Easier said than make. The film spoilers were so bad that I knew the final episode beat by beat before it aired. That was on me for going on YouTube. But that's the thing. It's not even just YouTube too. It's like going on any social media. And I get spoiled by shows if I just open Twitter and see the trending. Like if it says like Harrison Ford, then I know he's making a cameo somewhere, and I'll connect the dots from whatever that trending word is. So I can't even look at news. So it's like this pressure nowadays to like gotta watch it when it comes out. It's scary, and that's what's really scary about Netflix, because I wish they were more open to weekly releases for shows, not just reality shows, because there's a pressure with Netflix. Like, oh my God, I got to watch this in a weekend or I'm going to get spoiled. Like, for example, like a Wednesday season 2, like I don't want to get spoiled by that. But for me not to get spoiled by that, I probably have to watch it the first weekend, because then Monday it's like, boom, everything is spoiled. Oh, and easier said with Maggie said from spoilers, not film spoilers. Yeah, from spoilers. They also had a leak happen, I think, 3 episodes before the finale, which is insane. So that's not good either. And that's exactly like my sister gotten spoiled for that show because she just went on a TikTok and someone's comment, just decide, hey, I'm going to spoil the finale of From and say exactly what happens. I don't know what kind of sick thrill people get from doing that, but they do it. But yeah, this has been fun hanging out with you guys. Do you guys want me to do more live streams? Let me know. And any last questions I'll answer real quick before I go. And yeah, it's cool seeing you guys live. I feel like I'm hanging out, especially with Steph, Meg, and Bright Aurora. And oh, there you go. I remember I ended a friendship because someone spoiled Game of Thrones for me. Yeah, that's a friendship ender for sure. Um, and that's what's scary about shows based off books. That's like every day you're avoiding spoilers, you know. But that's why, like, I try to say, especially like it's Silo, it's based off a book. I say at the beginning of my review, like, no book spoilers in the comments. It's like seriously, don't, you know. And I feel like people have been pretty good about that as long as you say something. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. And of course, you're already subbed, so I can't say please subscribe, but you know, check me out on TikTok, Twitter. I'm on everything, Instagram, and don't be afraid to reach out. I think you guys are the best, and I appreciate you guys. Have a great Christmas and holidays, and yeah, thanks for hanging out.